Hello, welcome to Retro Cheese Review, where my friends and loved ones are forced to watch cheesy movies from my childhood and review them. With us today is my lovely wife, Felicia, who I keep bullying into being on here. Felicia, say hi.
I'm being held against my will. Please
Exactly.
kill me.
You
Kill me. Put
also,
me out of my misery.
Felicia also edits these videos, the ones that actually are edited.
He's forcing me to edit them.
If
I'm slaving
I,
away a whole hour to edit these videos for you people.
you would
You
know that
disgust
if
me.
I was the one editing them, or if she ever gives up editing them, because it would all be Comic Sans and MS Paint editing.
I mean, I can add Comic Sans and
Just all Comic
MS Paint. I
Sans.
mean, I can. We could actually, you know what? It would be cool if we had an all Comic Sans MS Paint episode. So instead of like referencing clips, we just include really shitty MS Paint and Comic Sans.
We've got to save that for a really special movie.
That yeah, maybe like Mac and Me or something like that, or just
Jesus
something.
Christ, I so want to do Mac and Me. I've been holding out. Well, today we'll actually be reviewing a movie I was holding off for a while. I had a friend in mind. He ended up canceling out. It's fine. He just doesn't have a webcam yet, and I really was getting
You know what you
antsy to
need
do
to
this
do?
movie.
You know what sound effect you need?
Yeah. Let's. This is what I say. Yeah, you can't hear it, Felicia, but there's a boo, and there's also let's do Homer.
I'm so disappointed.
That's it's fine. We'll eventually have that friend on here. I just could not
Eventually.
wait for the greatest Michael Crichton novel turned into a movie ever, Congo. Um, so we're reviewing Congo. Yeah, and I said that it's funny because Jurassic Park was a Michael Crichton novel, but fuck
Yeah,
Jurassic
we're doing
Park. We're
this.
doing Congo. We're doing Congo. Damn it. The principal from that crappy show with Glenn Howerton or whatever his name was also loved it. I always forget the name of that show, but we are doing Congo, kind of
Oh,
diving
AP
in.
Bio.
I AP Bio, that's it. Yeah, the principal played by Patton Oswalt also loves this movie.
I miss that
I
fucking show. They need to bring it back.
yeah. I think it is, but I unironically love this movie. I know what it is. I unironically fucking love this movie, and
He
that's why I
really
was
talks
excited
about
to
it
do
all the
this.
fucking time.
I
He really
regularly
does.
update like my Facebook cover photo to be like one of the best scenes from the movie, which we'll get into later. For those who've seen it, you already know what I'm talking about. So this
I'm
movie,
just rolling my eyes.
yeah, you're
Okay,
just
whatever.
so we're actually going to do what I originally intended on this channel and have varying opinions, whereas what it's gotten into is a big fest of either two of us shitting on the movie or two of us praising the shit out of a movie. We're finally getting back to the roots of this goddamn channel. What got us these 56 subscribers in the first place and made us
Whoa.
we're getting
Sorry,
close.
Chopper is messing
Yeah,
with my light. Chopper, stop.
Chopper's our cat.
He's a
What's
piece of
getting us
shit.
our 56 subscribers. Hopefully, by the time this is edited in like a week, we'll be up to 50 million.
Hopefully.
Completely destroying Nostalgia Critic and even Roger Ebert being even bigger than that. High hopes for
Chopper's
this channel.
more. He is better than Congo the movie.
Okay, well, we
Even
haven't
though he's a
gotten
piece
into
of
it,
shit.
so let's actually get into the movie instead of waste 5 minutes with filler, which we're at 4. So this movie what came out in 1995, just a couple years after Jurassic Park. I think the thought was one of Michael Crichton's novels did really well. Let's make another one into a movie, big budget movie. So 1995, and PG-13, and Rotten Tomatoes score. Critics 20%, audience 29%, and
I think they were too generous.
it was a big budget movie when it came out. Like it had the budget of like Jurassic Park. It had like Pepsi's backing. There were great commercials where they collaborated with the gorilla. Pisses me off that it's this low. It is. I mean, you know what you're getting into when they cast Bruce Campbell. He's a very small role, but the fact that they put Bruce Campbell in it, the director's like, you guys gave me Michael Crichton's cheesiest novel. I'm gonna give you the because Michael Crichton can't write unless he's ripping off the Lost World. Um, The novel's terrible. I'm just gonna say this. The
Did you actually
novel,
read it?
I've read parts of it. It's not well written. Michael Crichton's not that good of a writer. I'm gonna but I love the movie because the director just went with it and is like, "Fuck it, we'll do it live." That is how this entire movie was made, and they gave it a huge budget. It's like if a B movie got a big budget, which I mean, we've seen that, like recently with giving. Not even recently, a couple times with Sam Raimi getting the reins in Spider-Man and again in Marvel.
Cocaine Bear got a budget.
Yeah, cocaine. Yeah,
that really should have been a B movie. I mean, it was fucking
when
awesome,
you give B movie directors and B movie stories budgets, you get fucking gold, in my opinion. And that's what this is.
That movie wasn't that like Elizabeth Banks? No, wait.
Yeah, Cocaine Bear was Elizabeth Banks. This one, let me see. I have IMDb up because director Frank Marshall. Let's see Let's just go ahead and say what else has he directed? What else is Frank Marshall directed?
Was he the one who he directed Congo, right?
Yeah, he directed Congo. Oh, he's mostly producer. Okay, he produced Dial of Destiny and a bunch of Jurassic World, but we can't director. Let's go to director because producer, for those of you who don't work in the business, that just means he's throwing money at it. So let's see. Congo would have been when he directed. I hit director. Like, why is it just pulling up all this shit? Okay, director.
Anyway.
No. We need to get to this. So, really, this... he directed Alive. He directed Alive. That was the only big movie that he did before this, though.
That's funny,
back in '93.
That was a really good movie.
Oh, and Arachnophobia. He directed Arachnophobia. After this,
wasn't that like another B movie? Wasn't that the one with what's his face?
Calling it a B movie? Fuck you, Felicia. Arachnophobia is not a B movie. Yeah, Arachnophobia is not a B movie. It's a classic. Prior to that,
okay, look, I can print off divorce papers anytime, any day. So, fuck right off.
Exactly. Prior to that, he did mostly making of and documentary, and after that, kind of weird. So he got Congo, and then they gave him a chance after Alive. They're like, let's give him some good movies, and then Congo came out, and they just decided to fuck right off and make him go right back to other stuff. But
he's just like, you know what? Fuck this.
So diving in, we'll give it before we really go into much. Let's dive into first our nostalgia take. First time watching this, I would have been in junior high. I was hyped up for this movie, and I would have given it the same ranking as the Transformers 1984. I fucking love this movie. It's got everything, which we'll get into more. But nostalgia rating 15 out of 10. Felicia, what was your nostalgia rating of Congo?
I mean, honestly, I watched it once. I don't really have fond memories of it. I don't have bad memories nor fond memories of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember it existing, and I saw it. I think I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 when I first saw it.
Okay.
I know you're gonna say no, that's wrong, but
yeah, people are gonna think that I'm being sarcastic. I'm pulling a Meat Canyon when he's talking about the live action
One Piece.
But no, people that actually know me,
actually very serious. He loves the shit out of this movie.
I fucking love this movie. So diving in, first of all star cast. Okay, we've got Laura Linney in her prime. Dylan Walsh in his prime. They did a shit ton of 90s movies. You've got Ernie Hudson playing an African guy, but with a very, very British accent. I don't know where it came from. They were doing African
overactor.
Oh, Ernie Hudson is an amazing overactor, and that they told him, "Hey, your character's from Rwanda, East Africa. They don't tell you exactly where he's from, but he's supposed to be from that whole area because the movie's not even in Congo. They go from country to country, and I don't even remember where they end up, but they tell him to do an accent. Hey, Ernie Hudson, you're not American, and he's doing a proper British accent. It's so fucking weird.
Was it British or was it just just a
It sounded
hoity-toity
very.
American accent. I can't remember.
It sounded very British to me. You got Joe Don Baker. I always forget who that actor is, but I always
You're wondering why
recognize
I'm
him in
moving around a
everything.
lot. My foot is falling asleep because the cat is on it.
Okay.
So if you're wondering, I'm not like on any sort of drugs or anything like that.
But you got a very small part. He's in it for a very short amount of time. Bruce Campbell, which any time that he even gets a bit part, it's amazing. And then you get
Sure.
one of the greatest actors of all time, Tim fucking Curry, and he's in a part that's not even necessary in this movie, but they put him in there at least. They put Tim.
They just
fucking
kind of
Curry.
squeezed him in there. His role wasn't necessary, and even though Tim Curry is a phenomenal actor, and I think he's fantastic, he really is okay.
He's there just to be the asshole. And nobody calls him out. Like, people call him out on it, but they still let him. They're like, dude, you're a piece of
Because
shit.
it's Tim fucking Curry, that's why.
And you think it's because
Just
he's got his character's supposed to have money, but then he turns out he's broke as shit. And Laura Linney's character has all the money, and he's not even the biggest piece of shit in the movie. Joe Don Baker's character, like the something Travis or whatever, he's the biggest piece of shit.
Well, of course, his name is Travis. What the
Well, his
fuck
last
do you
name's
expect?
Travis, but yeah, I do have an
Still,
anti-Travis
that's beside
movement.
the point.
If any of my subscribers are named Travis, your name is the red-necked white trash version of my proper name, Trevor. Unsubscribe from my channel. I have 56 people, so we can afford to lose the Travises. I'm going to suddenly go down to like 30. It's going to turn out I had like 26 Travises subscribed.
We're gonna be toilet paper rich.
Argue with me in the comments why your name doesn't suck. I have a hatred for the name Travis because people would confuse my name with Travis a lot. But yeah, like kind of diving into the plot, which is the greatest plot ever. Scientists,
Unequivocally and unironically.
yeah, we're gonna get sued by Meat Canyon if you use that. He seems like the type that would sue.
Like, Frankie, my feet are falling asleep. You need to leave. Go elsewhere.
Um,
Sorry.
It's okay. So we get into the movie. This guy, the scientist, Dylan Walsh, and his other scientist, who's kind of a wiener, played by Grant Heslov, they are teaching a gorilla how to speak sign language, and they even got a really cool device that makes sign language into speech. And you've got all these deaf people who'd be like, I'd fucking love that, but no, they're just giving it to a fucking gorilla.
Because why the fuck not? Hollywood.
Yeah, but the gorilla's having nightmares constantly and is painting these like ominous like jungle scenes, but it's like ominous with eyes. And they're like, "Oh, she's terrified of the jungle." They don't make the connection that she's fucking terrified of the jungle. And they're like, "Oh, she's having nightmares and painting the jungle. She must want to go home." So
Yeah.
all this experiment and shit that they're doing on the gorilla, they're like, "Oh, let's take her home." And none of the people backing the scientist are going to do this because they're like, are you a dumb piece of shit? You taught this gorilla to talk and now you want to take him home? Fuck you. And then you've got Tim Curry showing up playing a Romanian philanthropist. That's what he calls himself. Just
His accent was questionable.
his accent. Oh, yeah. Tim Curry's one of the greatest actors to ever live. His accent, his Romanian accent, I think he's just making fun of the entire country of, like, he's making fun of all Romas, basically, at that point.
They you know what? They gave him a dump truck full of money, and they're like, do your thing. And he's just like, okay.
Do I have to wear clown makeup this time? No, you don't have to wear
No.
clown makeup, Tim. So he's basically, like, very sketchy as shit, but he's like, I will fund the entire trip. I like gorilla. Like, it's really, like, he's not convincing at all.
Okay,
but
it
this
wasn't that bad. It was bad, but holy shit.
But this scientist is such a dumb piece of shit that he's like, this guy seems like a legit guy. Let's do this shit. Let's travel to fucking Africa with Tim Curry. And there's lots of places that gorillas could go, but they want to take them to a specific, very dangerous part of Africa, the gorilla. They get ready to go, and it turns out, Tim Curry don't have shit for money, and this chick who works for a cell phone company suddenly sketchily wants to be on there and wants to fund it. He doesn't want it, but Tim Curry's out of money. We did
She just
skip.
shows up out of nowhere. Also, she's
Well,
like,
we did skip. I did skip the very beginning of the movie, in that she works for this cell phone company where this piece of shit sends his son in for some reason into the jungle, and he gets like cut off, and you see like a white gorilla on the screen. So she's supposed to be going there. Supposedly, she's going to the jungle to rescue this guy, like Bruce Campbell. But she doesn't want to tell anyone. It's suspicious that she just has a fuck ton of money to fling around. We're talking like fat fucking stacks of bills.
Yeah.
She funds the trip. They finally give in. They get to Africa. Their tour guide was replaced with this sketchy dude who's played by Ernie Hudson. And the reason he's been replaced because they're like, hey, the country's at fucking war. If we want to get you all across the border, you're going to need me. I'm the sketchy motherfucker. There's a dude who's running the travel thing that literally reminds me of the dude from Jurassic. It's funny because it's a Michael Crichton novel, so he probably wrote the same character. But he literally reminds me of the sketchy dude from Jurassic Park that's trying to buy the DNA samples from Newman.
Didn't you say that you thought it was the same guy? It turns out
I swear it wasn't the same actor, but I thought it was. But he's even wearing a Hawaiian shirt and shit. He's like pretty clearly supposed to be the same motherfucker. So he's like coordinated everything. They get on a plane to cross the border. Or wait, I'm skipping ahead. First they get like detained, and the dude does the stop eating my sesame cake scene, where he makes
eating my sesame cake.
Yeah, they're like interrogating the two scientists.
I think that was the best part of the movie. Everything else was okay.
Well, they're interrogating the two scientists. The military is in the separate room, while they've got Ernie Hudson, Laura Linney, and Tim Curry in another room. And they basically just point out, it's like, why do you have this piece of shit with you? He's a tremendous... They're just talking about how Tim Curry's just a huge piece of shit. And then Laura Linney just pulls out fat fucking stacks of cash and just bribes the whole thing.
They're just like, okay.
Yeah, they all get released. They fly. Their plane gets shot down after, like, a whole scene where they give Amy the gorilla, like, they get her drunk after giving her a martini.
I was actually just about to say that. I'm like, don't skip over
she's
the
doing the
fact
sign language.
That they get her sloshed.
Yeah, she's doing sign language asking for green drop drink, which is a martini. And Pepsi, like, back in the day, totally took that and did a commercial where the gorilla's asking for Pepsi.
Yeah.
There we go. Pepsi.
What's Pepsi? I don't understand.
She's getting tired.
Patsy. Hey, they don't always understand me either.
That's some fucking nostalgia right there. That made you want to
Yeah.
drink a Pepsi, even though Pepsi tastes like
There's something I
Coke.
actually want to say, and
Yeah.
like one thing that I find really cool is that if I hadn't known any better, I would have thought, were they training a gorilla to like do all this shit? And it's like, no, like obviously some of the other animatronics are so, but for her, honestly, the animatronics even for that day were pretty spectacular.
Yeah, like that is one thing that they did. They threw so much fucking money that you got an animatronic gorilla that would have scared the shit out of me to work with. Like, that's some military level, like, battle gorillas right there.
And it was realistic. It was really, really, really well done. Like, if you look at some of the behind the scenes stuff, like, so much time and effort went into creating that suit and creating all the other elements of like the eyes and what have you. And it's just, I think that's where all the budget went to.
It's so weird because Jurassic Park, which was just a couple years prior, the animatronics in this are even better, I think. But like, it's supposed to be a jungle setting, and Jurassic Park filmed in a couple different islands in Hawaii. We, like one of them's pretty nice, like has a ton of stuff they film. They try to film a jungle on a Hollywood set, and like that part does, like, it looks like plastic plants and stuff. So that like when they're in the jungle, I think we were mentioning that it literally looks like Legends of the Hidden Temple. Like,
I mean, I think that they did the best that they could with the resources that they had, but
they should have filmed in Hawaii. Pay a little bit more. Like, there's jungle scene settings that they, like, every jungle movie that takes place since Jurassic Park films in that same fucking chunk of Hawaii.
Yeah.
They're like, no, let's just film it in Hollywood. I don't know why. Or would have been like, oh, let's just recreate it in Atlanta. Like, that's what they do in modern day half the time. for TV
Yeah.
because TV shows can't afford to film in Hawaii.
I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of scenic shots. It was
No.
mostly just like primarily indoors. Or
It's
in
towards
caves,
the
which,
it's towards the
fine.
end it's towards the end with the jungle scene, and part of it's like 4K TV. It starts to look fake, so that's an issue with that. But the gorilla's so
True.
realistic.
Again, even by today's standards, it's like, holy fuck, that's really impressive.
And the plane scene's really cool too, because you got this whole group of mercenaries. Ernie Hudson knows exactly how to deal with the gorilla and just takes a banana and puts a fucking horse pill in it and gives it to the gorilla.
Of course, you have to have a banana because
what? Yeah.
Gorillas and monkeys love bananas. Apparently, I don't know where
they do.
that
They do.
stereotype
They
come from.
do. They do. That and they're in Africa. They can get I don't know. They give the gorilla a banana. They trank it. They're like, "What are you doing to my gorilla?" And they're like, "We're tranking it." They start giving everyone parachutes, and it's
fuck
like,
you,
why?
that's
And they're like, because we're crossing the border, and they cross the border in the most inefficient way by airplane. You could have smuggled by ground, but no, and they get shot down by heat-seeking missiles. There's a whole scene where they're trying to stretch it as much as possible by firing flares out, which would probably I don't know, it might work. That's what modern jets do for heat-seeking missiles.
Didn't
and they
Laura Linney's character know exactly what was happening?
Well, they explained that she's ex-CIA before and Ernie Hudson's like, didn't you used to work for the CIA? And she's like, no, I work for telecom now, or some shit. And he's like, the phone companies pay better than the CIA. She's like, I never worked for the CIA. So that explains why she's her and Ernie Hudson are both badass as shit. The scientists are wieners. They are almost Big Bang Theory.
Especially the guy who's training Amy. There's some
both of them
weird
are.
Shit going on. That's my that's my
there's no love interest between Laura Linney and Dylan Walsh. You think there's gonna be, but it's entirely he's into that gorilla.
Okay.
So but there is no romance scene, which is fine. There doesn't need to be. He is a little way too into his science, though. Grant Heslov's character is also the biggest wiener ever. He's the other scientist.
Yeah.
He just complains the whole time. He's oh boy, I don't think we should do this, guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they get shot down, but they all parachute, so it's fine. They set up camp. They keep showing how much money this fucking TV company this cell phone company, because back in the day cell phones were new technology, how much money they throw around, and where Ernie Hudson's you got a case full of air conditioners is our supply. It was when we could just get airdropped, and she's like, yeah, probably too much, and he's like, fuck it, I'll take one. Puts an air conditioner in his tent.
Everybody has a shitload of money in this movie.
Yeah.
Except for Tim Curry, apparently.
Yeah. So they get into the jungle where they're going. They find out that Tim Curry was on a previous expedition with Ernie Hudson's character. They still keep him. All this shit they keep finding out about him, they still keep him. He was on a previous expedition.
I guess it's Tim Curry, so fuck it.
Yeah, he's trying to find Solomon's diamond mines in Africa, and he's like, the diamonds are real. He sounds like he's from Transylvania at some point.
A little bit, yeah.
And he's like, I had to drag your ass out. You were the only survivor, But you basically find out that that's why he's there, is to try to find Solomon's diamond mines, because he sees that the gorillas, Amy's paintings, had the eye that's supposed to be there. They start talking about the myth of the gray gorillas, and the scientists are like, there's no gorillas that murder humans. They run into a gorilla, a silverback gorilla, that's absolutely just going to tear their fucking arms off. Gorillas aren't violent, and then this one's and he ends up backing down. But Amy's all sad because the gorillas don't seem to like her, I guess, because she's speaking sign language.
Now, those gorilla costumes were
mid.
Yeah, they were so. I don't know what it was about them, but they just seemed...
It was just some stunt guy in a gorilla costume, probably.
I don't know what it was about Amy's...
It was just... It's going to turn out it's a real gorilla. The silverback was just a real gorilla. That doesn't look real. It was played by Harambe.
Rest in peace, Harambe.
Rest in peace, Harambe. But no, they get in... shit ensues to where they find, this African tribe tells him, hey, there's another white guy wandering around here, and it's one of the people from Bruce Campbell's expedition, and he's like, really fucked up, and scared. Laura Linney's character has a satellite call with the douchebag, whatever.
Because it's the future.
He owns but like Amy knocks over the satellite, and literally the owner of the telecom company is just like, ah, shit, another group died. And he just flies another fucking plane there, which you later see get shot down. Which this is important to the plot. He's just like, how many fucking planes full of people have to die for me to get what I want? He doesn't he just throws money around. He's got more money than any cell phone company would ever have back then.
More money than God.
Yeah, the dude's got Musk money. He's going to buy Twitter. Run that shit into the ground. So, like, yeah, they do find that this guy is all scared as shit, and when he sees Amy, he dies from being scared, because it's another gorilla. They keep going in, they pretty much find, like, the equipment and shit, and, like, yeah, a couple people get fucking, like, some of the guards leave, and then some of them get killed by a couple gray gorillas, so they set up camp for the night, because they find out the gray gorillas, and again, showing off the amount of tech and money the cell phone company has, they have, like, a laser perimeter and fucking auto machine guns just shredding through the gorillas at this point. But either way, they make it through the night. They figure out the gray gorillas are real, but they still wander into the fucking cave because they find Bruce Campbell's dead body as well as a giant fucking diamond he was looking for. Like, it's a giant fucking diamond. But they also find a ton of diamonds, and they get attacked by a shit ton of gorillas who pretty much kill everybody except for Ernie Hudson, Laura Linney, and Dylan Walsh. Tim Curry dies because he won't set down a bunch of diamonds.
All the main characters, with the exception of Tim Curry.
Yeah, they kill Tim Curry gets fucking slaughtered, man. He gets because he won't. But it's ironically because he's got like all the fucking diamonds. You also like find out at the volcano there's gonna be erupting soon. Amy's wandered off. They were looking for her prior to this, and she's just fucking got the fuck out of there.
Like, bye, fuckers.
But you see, like, Amy's in a field just chilling with that silverback gorilla, and she sees, like, shit's going down over in the cave, so she's like, oh shit, I gotta protect my human. So you get towards the end, and Amy jumps down and protects them by being like, ugly gorillas, ugly, go away, with her sign language thing. She puts it on herself. I don't know how she did it. And then Laura Linney's like, hey, check this shit out. And she's got, like, the diamond as well as, like, it's supposed to be, like, a laser for a satellite to, like, I guess, power the cell phone companies. And she just uses it for the best scene in fucking cinematic history ever. Splice it in when you edit this, Felicia, where she just mows down all these fucking gorillas with a giant laser cannon.
Come on, Miss Rain. What the hell are you doing anyway?
What am I doing? I'll tell you what I'm doing. We're getting out of here.
We are. What about them?
Put him on the endangered species list. Come on, Monroe!
She literally mows down all these fucking ugly-ass white gorillas with a laser cannon. And then the volcano starts erupting, and they just start yeeting into the lava, because they're like, shit, we can't deal with how cool this fucking laser cannon is. Let's just jump in the fucking lava.
Man, this laser is cool as shit.
Let's just kill ourselves in the lava. And somehow Laura Linney, Dylan Walsh, and Ernie Hudson, all three make it out alive. Because it doesn't even make sense. You thought, like, the two of them, in a classic Hollywood movie, Laura Linney and Dylan Walsh would have made it out alive. And they would have, at the end, like, made out and stuff. But no, Ernie Hudson's there, too. He's like, you're not He probably negotiated, and it's like, you're not killing my character off.
Me? Fuck
that. You, dude. I'm the badass. So the three of them make it out. They find, like, they go back to the wreckage of the plane that they tried to send, the third one that tried to push it too far. She makes a call to this Travis guy, who it's like, I found your son, he's dead. And he just does not give a fuck. And he's like, did you find the fucking diamond? You find the diamond, you bitch?
Your son is dead.
Yeah. So she just literally like programs. She takes the awesome laser cannon, programs in the coordinates to the satellite, because that's a thing, and shoots down this major telecom company's satellite in space. So this laser gun was powerful enough to shoot down a fucking space satellite. Which, again, this is why they were able to... And then, like, they get in a hot air balloon because there's a hot air balloon in the plane for some reason.
For some reason.
Because this is where Michael Crichton wrote himself into a corner. They're like, okay, these guys, he wrote himself into a corner that, how are they going to get away from the gorillas? Fuck it, laser gun. Okay, what do they do now? Do we just end it? No, they get in a hot air balloon. She just yeets the fucking diamond, like, in the middle of, like,
the very thing that they were looking for. It's like,
she was looking for Bruce Campbell the entire time, but who isn't looking for Bruce Campbell? Ladies love Bruce Campbell.
Women love Bruce Campbell. Men love Bruce Campbell. Animals love Bruce Campbell. But even so, like,
the most
unrealistic.
The most disappointing and unrealistic thing about this movie is that Laura Linney was able to take them down with a laser gun, and that you didn't at least find like, next to Bruce Campbell, the laser gun attached to his arm and a bunch of dead gorillas around him where he went down fighting. Like, his arm chopped off with
that would have been badass.
See, that
would have been extremely badass. It's
Bruce Campbell. There should have at least been some dead gorillas near him.
There should have been a struggle with the gorillas and Bruce Campbell.
Because he's Bruce Campbell. He's Bruce fucking Campbell.
But
they literally were like, we wrote ourselves into a corner. They're just leaving on a hot air balloon, which they're not going to make it past the border. Their airplane got shot down, so they're all going to die anyway.
Yep.
But that's how the movie ends.
What about Amy, though?
Amy gets her happy ending. I forgot to mention that. She saves the character, but then she goes with the silverbacks, and he's all sad. That's the whole reason he brought her to Africa, was to give her happy ending. And then he's all sad. He's all sad. He's like,
his happy ending.
You mean? Yeah. It's like, you mean you want to go with them instead of us, Amy? And she's like, yeah, do you look at this guy? Like, the silverback's a sex machine.
You brought me here, dumbass.
Yeah, you brought me here, you stupid piece of And I didn't want to come here because of the silver gorillas, but Laura Linney and her laser cannon took care of them. Hey, can you leave the gorillas the laser cannon? That would be cool as shit.
So I'm just gonna chill out here. Bye. Fucker.
Yeah, because you find out a bunch of her gorillas have been getting killed by the white gorillas, so that's why she was having nightmares. She's like, no, I'm in America. I'm safe from these crazy murder gorillas. He's like, but now you brought me here and you want to bring me back. I ain't getting up in that hot air balloon. They're just gonna shoot you down, dumbass. And it proves that Amy's the smartest character.
Amy's the best character of that movie.
It's because the white gorillas, it's established that they'll just rip humans apart and that they'll just tear other gorillas apart. But something about Amy doing sign language and verbalizing, the other gorillas are like, what the fuck is this? I don't know what the fuck. Man. They're scared as shit, and it gives Laura Linney time to make a super weapon and tear them down like she's a goddamn, I don't know, like she's Starscream and she's holding Megatron.
I gotta ask, like, how long was it that Laura Linney had to create that weapon? I'm not even.
Well, she had the thing in her case. She just had to put the diamond in it. It was meant to test this laser was meant to test the satellite to see if it was working, to see if the diamond was pure enough, because they needed a really large, perfectly pure. They didn't care about all the other diamonds. They needed a very large, perfectly pure diamond, because the whole thing is like, yeah, there's millions of dollars of giant diamonds in here, and this diamond's worth millions, but if we get this satellite network online, we could make trillions. Like, it's that kind of thing. And she was like, fuck your satellite.
Yeah, but what was her? I remember her name being extremely generic, and I commented on that when we were watching the movie.
Karen Ross. Her name is Dr. All of the names are very, very, well, not all of them, but like her name, Karen Ross, like she's a Karen. It's funny. And Dylan Walsh is Dr. They're both doctors. They're both scientists. His name is Dr. Peter Elliott. He's got two first names. Two first names is such. It's fine. Who cares? Having two first names is such a Michael Crichton thing to do. He's not good at naming. Let's be like Dr. Alan Grant. Like the main character in this is Peter Elliott, and then Jurassic Park, it's Alan Grant. Yep. Like it's literally, he's all about like
Mr. Scientist.
Even Ernie Hudson's character, Monroe Kelly.
Yeah.
He's a two first name guy. Tim Curry is
He really, truly is.
Herkimer Hermolka.
What?
Tim Curry's name's Herkimer Hermolka. It's like when he says his name, you want to say bless you. Do you need a tissue? Grant Heslov, the other, like, the one that's the scientist assistant with Amy, they don't even give him a second, like, a last name. He's just Richard.
I will say one thing. It's very evident that the guy who wrote the book knew nothing. He knew dick.
Well, he's
about
wrote a
Africa.
shit. He's wrote a shit ton of books, but like he's not.
He didn't know shit about Africa, and I hate to throw this term around, but I'm just like, movie was kind of.
It was a little bit because they were just like, yeah, we're in Africa. No, everyone's gonna take bribes. They're using U.S. currency everywhere because they're like, fuck your African money. Here's some
like
real money.
I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, and Michael Crichton, he wrote a lot. That's the sad thing is
he's a very prolific writer, but being prolific doesn't necessarily mean that you're good.
He wrote Twister, so that's where like Bruce Campbell comes in. Although that was after. Actually, no, Bruce Campbell wasn't Twister. That was the riff off of Twister. This one was Bill Paxton. It was the rip off of Twister that had Bruce Campbell in it.
Who was the writer?
Michael Crichton. Yeah,
he is the he's probably the Nicolas Cage of books, or the Nicolas Cage of fiction writing. What do you think?
He was the creator of ER. I had no idea. Like, cause he was more of a novel writer, but he created ER.
I mean, I didn't really watch ER, but I'm telling you, he's the Nicolas Cage of writing, because he's either got dog shit or he's got something that's really good. Actually, what were the reviews for the original book for Congo?
Congo novel. Let me see.
I'm genuinely curious.
The novel was made in 1980, way before, and it was, people are asking if it was based on a true story.
Oh my fucking god!
No, it's fiction. Dumb it. It's got like a 3.6 rating from what I'm seeing.
3.6 out of what? Out of 5 or out of 10?
Yeah, but Barnes & Noble gives it a 4 out of 5, though. But it was published in 1980. Like, Michael Crichton actually did write a lot, though. ER, Jurassic Park probably being his two most famous. The original Westworld. Not the HBO crap, but the original one. So, like, he's a good writer. ER will never be as good as...
Congo is just a bunch of bullshit.
ER will never be as good as Scrubs, although it has a couple of really good people in it. A nice lady that I worked with previously, and then Scott Grimes, who is the greatest actor alive.
Yes.
Is that it? You were just scared? Okay. I'm gonna go slow this time. I never even introduced myself. I'm Steve. I'm gonna call you Simon. Chica, Simon? Okay? I'm a friend. Yes? You know that now? Friend? Chica. Damn it! Screw you, jerk cat! Son of a whore!
But no, like, he was a good writer. He, Jurassic Park, he did rip off Lost World, but Michael Crichton knew what he was doing, and I love Congo, so, like, unironically. So let's get into, because we are way over what we normally are on these videos. We've rambled.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
It's my fault. As deserved of the greatest movie ever. We'll have to redo Transformers, because that review, like, is before we were, like, higher quality. Before we were this, big budget movie level quality of video that we're producing now.
With your 54 subscribers.
56. Hey, get it. Whatever. After with my comments about Travis's, we're gonna go down to like 30.
Or we might get up to 1,000. Who knows?
Yes. So getting into like the rewatch review, it's not as good as the first time I saw it, but I still love it. I still got hyped at the end. I'm not going to give it a 15 out of 10, but I'm going to get a solid 9 out of 10. Felicia, what was your rewatch review?
God damn it, fucking cat, and moving my light. I'm gonna have to figure out a better lighting system.
Stop with the cat and just review it. We know that we hate our cats. The internet already knows.
Yeah, the internet already knows. If you
That
want,
cats are
if you
horrible.
want a free cat, if you want a free cat,
This is a joke. We're not actually giving away our cat. Just
no.
what was your rewatch
Anyway.
review?
I think I gave it like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, that was your
3.5.
initial one.
It was like a
I think it was a
3.5
3.
out of 5 when I was reviewing it for nostalgia. I'd say maybe like a 2 out of 5. Not
2 out
much
of 5.
lower. I mean, it has entertainment value. Like if you shut your brain off and you don't think about the proper storytelling or logic or anything like that. If you just shut your brain off, you'll be entertained. For sure.
You got to give it at least a 4 out of 5 just for the gorilla.
I mean, Amy is absolutely fucking adorable, and the animatronics and the puppetry and just everything that every component of that character is absolutely spectacular. And I don't think it's something that a lot of people talk about because the movie is just kind of shitty. But
Amazing.
I mean, it's okay. It was an okay movie. I think a 2 out of 5 is a solid rating for me. I mean, I could give it lower, but I'm not going to, just because people were entertained enough. It was a box office hit, despite the fact that it had such low ratings. And I think even the nostalgia factor alone from the cast kind of makes it entertaining in some weird way. And I think if for what it's worth, you could at least go back and not really hate watch it, but watch it and is like, that movie's so fucking dumb. You could kind of poke fun at it, and it has some good reference
Doesn't
points.
need
So
to be poke fun. It's a great movie.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we are at over 40 minutes.
Oh shit.
I don't know what it'll be if Felicia cuts it down at all or if she pads it. Watch her pad it to like an hour. So thank you all who are still watching this. Please, if you liked Congo, leave a comment and like this. If you hated Congo, leave a like and also comment. Please subscribe.
And go to Rob's channel and
Do
leave
not
him
go.
hate
No,
comments.
don't even go to Rob's channel. Don't give him. Yeah, we don't know what Rob's channel is. We're not saying that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wing.
Yeah. Leave hate comments for Rob as usual. Leave hate comments for me. Tell us if you want to see more movies like this. We can review more Michael Crichton movies. But that is us with Retro Cheese Review. And thank you and bye.
Bye-bye.